The conflict just hit a new level of intensity. Overnight, massive US and Israeli strikes hammered military sites across Isfahan, one of Iran's most strategic cities. Isfahan is home to Badr Air Base and sits dangerously close to Iran's nuclear facilities. Witnesses on the ground reported absolutely massive explosions, towering fireballs and columns of fire lighting up the night sky. Power outages rolled across parts of Tehran and eastern Iran as the strikes landed. Here's what makes this different. The United States used bunker buster bombs, designed specifically to penetrate deep underground targets. And President Trump didn't just authorize these strikes, he personally shared footage of the attacks, making it crystal clear that America is directly involved in this war. But Iran wasn't about to take this lying down. In a major escalation, an Iranian drone struck the Al-Salmi, a fully laden Kuwaiti crude oil tanker, off the coast of Dubai. The vessel was hit in the anchorage zone near Jebel Ali port. The attack caused serious hull damage and sparked a fire on board, raising fears of a catastrophic oil spill in one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. All crew members were evacuated safely, but make no mistake, this is one of the most serious shipping attacks we've seen in recent weeks. Iran just demonstrated they're willing to target Gulf shipping despite massive international pressure to keep the oil flowing. Now, here's where things get interesting. According to new reports, President Trump has told his aides that he's willing to end the U.S. military campaign against Iran, even if the Strait of Hormuz remains largely closed. That's a significant shift in strategy. Trump is continuing to push hard for diplomatic talks, but he's keeping the military pressure turned up. His message to Tehran is clear. Either come to the negotiating table or face strikes on your energy infrastructure. And he's not bluffing. The administration is openly threatening attacks on Iranian power plants and Karg Island, Iran's main oil export terminal. Secretary of State Marco Rubio mentioned something revealing. He said there are fractures appearing within Iranian leadership. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth stated that the coming days will be decisive, noting that Iran has very few military options left on the table. The Pentagon briefing highlighted ongoing destruction of Iranian ammunition depots and defense sites across the country. While all eyes are on Iran, the situation in Lebanon continues to deteriorate. Israeli ground forces are pushing deeper into southern Lebanon with plans to expand their security buffer zone. Just in recent combat operations, 4 IDF soldiers were killed. Hezbollah has responded with massive rocket and drone barrages targeting northern and central Israel. These attacks have caused injuries and damage, including a fire at a refinery facility near Haifa. This Lebanon front shows absolutely no signs of cooling down, even as the focus remains on Iran. And here's something deeply concerning. 3 Indonesian UN peacekeepers were killed in the past 48 hours in southern Lebanon. 2 died in a vehicle convoy attack, and 1 was killed in an earlier incident. The United Nations and Indonesia have strongly condemned these killings and are demanding accountability. These attacks raise serious questions about peacekeeper safety as this conflict continues expanding. This war is no longer just between Iran and Israel. Yemen's Houthis have now actively joined the fight, launching missiles and drones at southern Israel. Intelligence reports suggest Iran is urging even broader escalation across what they call the axis of resistance. There are renewed threats to Red Sea shipping lanes as the Houthis coordinate more closely with Tehran. What started as an Iran-Israel confrontation has now become a full regional war, involving multiple fronts and multiple actors. On the diplomatic front, we're seeing a complete stalemate. Iran has rejected U.S. ceasefire demands, calling them excessive and unrealistic. Even America's European allies are showing limited support. Spain is among several countries restricting their backing for U.S. operations. The markets are reacting sharply. Oil prices have surged, and U.S. gas prices have now crossed $4 per gallon. Markets are swinging wildly between hopes for de-escalation and fears of a full energy supply crisis. The diplomatic impasse suggests one thing clearly. This conflict is likely to keep escalating before we see any kind of resolution. The coming days, as Secretary Hegseth said, will be decisive. The question now is whether diplomacy can catch up before this regional war spirals even further out of control.